Have you ever felt that someone entered your life at exactly the right moment, almost as if it was planned by something greater than chance? This feeling is not random. According to Carl Jung, such experiences are part of a deeper psychological and spiritual reality. These encounters can appear sudden, but they often follow a hidden pattern, shaped by the unconscious and what Jung referred to as the collective unconscious, a shared layer of the psyche that connects all human beings. Jung emphasized that the most impactful relationships are not accidents. They emerge from within us, from unconscious energies that align between two individuals. It's not merely about attraction or shared interest. Instead, it's about something more profound, an inner resonance, where deep parts of ourselves called archetypes respond to the presence of another person. This is why certain connections feel familiar, even when you've just met someone. It feels as if your soul recognizes something in them. Jung introduced the concept of synchronicity, meaningful coincidences that are not caused by direct interaction but still carry significance. When two people meet, under such circumstances, it's not always logical, but it feels purposeful. These connections often awaken parts of us that have been hidden or ignored. Within each person exists an unconscious realm, a space that holds our suppressed emotions, desires, and past wounds. Sometimes another person can bring those elements to the surface, not through effort but through presence alone. When a connection feels deep or intense, it's often because it reflects a part of yourself that is still unfolding. This other person might feel like a soulmate or a spiritual mirror. They could be here to teach you something, to challenge you, or to help you heal. According to Jung, even those who hurt us are not coincidences. They often represent aspects of ourselves that we haven't yet acknowledged or understood. In this way, relationships become tools for inner discovery. If you feel a powerful connection with someone, what you're truly sensing may be your own unconscious energy reflected back at you. Many times what draws us to others is not their personality or looks, but the way they activate forgotten or hidden parts of ourselves. This is why some relationships feel unavoidable, even if they are difficult. Jung would say these moments are driven by the soul's search for wholeness, a need to evolve and integrate lost pieces of ourselves. But not all powerful attractions are meant to last. Sometimes that same energy that pulls two people together can also lead them into cycles of pain. Jung cautioned that if we are unaware of our inner wounds, we may end up repeating negative patterns in relationships. It's not a punishment, it's a signal. The unconscious tries to resolve these issues through the people we attract. Until we become aware of what's happening inside us, we may stay stuck in the same relational struggles without understanding why. If you've ever felt a powerful connection with someone that seemed more than coincidence, type "I felt it" in the comments. Have you ever wondered why you keep attracting the same type of relationship, even when you promise yourself it will be different this time? Carl Jung believed that it's not by accident, but a reflection of what's still unresolved inside us. The unconscious mind plays a much larger role in our relationships than we often realize. It's like a mirror, drawing people into our lives who reveal our hidden wounds, fears, and forgotten desires. These encounters are not here to punish us, but to awaken us. If you've been hurt in love, it may be because you were unconsciously seeking healing, not happiness. Think about it. If there's a deep fear of abandonment or insecurity within you, you might unknowingly gravitate toward people who trigger those very fears. It's not about being unlucky, it's about your inner world trying to resolve what has been left open. Jung explained that we project our inner world onto the people we meet. That's why relationships often feel so intense. They reflect parts of ourselves that are still in the dark. The problem is, if we're unaware of this process, we can fall into a painful loop. We meet someone, feel drawn to them, repeat the same emotional pattern, and end up hurt again. This can leave us feeling lost, asking, why does this keep happening to me? But the truth is, life keeps placing us in front of the same lesson until we learn it. And when we do, everything changes. The pain lessens, the cycles break, and we begin to attract differently, not because the world changes, but because we do. This is why Jung saw love not as a destination, but as a journey, a journey of awakening, growth, and integration. Every relationship, especially the difficult ones, invites us to look inward. The person who made you cry might have also helped you see a part of yourself you had ignored. That's why some connections leave a permanent mark. They stir something inside of us that can never go back to sleep. And even if they don't stay, they often leave behind a truth that changes how we love forever. Jung also said that the soul seeks to become whole, and it often tries to do this through connection. But here's the key. Not every connection is meant to last. Some are simply meant to teach us, to push us forward. We often hold on out of fear. Fear of being alone, fear of never finding better, fear of starting over. But the reality is, when we cling to what has already served its purpose, we block the space needed for something new to come in. Letting go is not failure, it's maturity. If you've ever stayed in a relationship long after you knew it was no longer right for you, know this: you're not alone. It's human to want comfort, but comfort can also keep us stuck. Jung would say that what we resist most is what holds the key to our transformation. The ego wants to stay safe, but the soul wants to evolve. And when you begin to trust your inner voice, even the hardest endings start to feel like sacred beginnings. Co-friend, if you've ever broken free from a relationship that no longer served your growth, type "I released it" in the comments. There's a moment in every spiritual journey where we realize the most important relationship we'll ever have is the one we have with ourselves. Before we can truly connect with someone else on a deep soul level, we must first connect with the depths of our own being. Carl Jung emphasized this inner work. He believed that love isn't something we find outside, it's something we build from within. And once that inner foundation is strong, the relationships we attract begin to shift in powerful ways. You may have noticed that as you grow, certain people begin to fall away. This is not a loss, but a sign of transformation. The energy you carry within you begins to change, and as a result, your outer world responds. Those who once matched your old patterns may drift, while others who align with your new energy begin to appear. This is not coincidence, it's the law of inner resonance. The unconscious speaks through vibrations. When your vibration rises, only those who meet you there can stay. Jung taught that the psyche is not just a container for thoughts or memories, it's a field of energy. That means your inner wounds, beliefs, and desires are not invisible. They echo out into the world and shape what you attract. If you believe deep down that love must hurt, you will unconsciously draw in people who affirm that belief. If you believe you are unworthy, you'll connect with those who treat you accordingly. These patterns are not destiny, they're projections of the unconscious trying to be healed. This is why healing is not just personal, it's relational. When you change your inner landscape, your relationships begin to mirror that change. Suddenly toxic cycles break. You stop romanticizing pain. You stop chasing validations. You no longer settle for less, because something within you finally says, "I deserve more." This is how real transformation begins, not through changing others, but by becoming so deeply connected to your own truth that you can no longer be pulled into what no longer aligns. But this path is not easy. Jung warned that the journey of self-discovery requires great courage. It means looking at what you've avoided, facing your fears, and embracing the parts of yourself you've hidden. It means understanding that sometimes relationships didn't work out, not because the other person was wrong, but because you hadn't yet healed enough to receive the love you were asking for. Love is not magic, it's a mirror. And until we clean that mirror, we won't see ourselves or others clearly. The real question is not "why can't I find love?" but "am I ready to receive the kind of love I say I want?" Because if you are still filled with fear, confusion, or self-doubt, those are the energies you will attract. But when you begin to clear that space, when you start cultivating peace, clarity, and self-worth, something shifts. The people who once matched your pain can no longer reach you, and those who match your healing start to arrive. If you're ready to align your energy with the love you truly deserve, type "I am ready" in the comments. At some point in your life, you may feel an intense connection with someone who seems to awaken your soul. It's not just a feeling of love or attraction. It's something deeper, something ancient. Carl Jung would describe this as meeting an aspect of your own inner self through another. It might be your anima or animus, the inner feminine or masculine that lives within all of us. When we meet someone who reflects this part of us, it feels like destiny. But the truth is, it's your unconscious revealing something profound through another person. These moments can feel magical. You might think, this person completes me. But here's the spiritual truth. No one completes you. They only awaken what's already inside. Jung believed that our relationships are never random. They are mirrors, constantly showing us the pieces of ourselves we have ignored, forgotten, or buried. When someone enters your life and triggers something deep, whether it's passion, pain, or both, they are there to help you grow, not to save you. And this is where many people get lost. We confuse these soul-stirring connections with everlasting love, and we end up clinging to relationships that are only meant to be lessons. You may feel an intense bond, but that doesn't always mean you're meant to stay together. Some people come into our lives just long enough to activate something within us. Maybe they remind you of your worth, or challenge you to face your fears. Their purpose isn't to stay, it's to awaken you. But that awakening doesn't always feel good. In fact, it often comes with discomfort. That's because these people don't just touch your heart. They touch your wounds. They force you to see where you've settled, where you've hurt, and where you've held on too tightly. And unless you're conscious of this process, you might stay in that connection longer than you should, believing the pain is part of the love. Jung warned us, if we don't face our shadows, we project them onto others. And that projection turns healing into heartbreak. So how do you know if a connection is real or just a reflection of a wound? The answer lies in how it makes you feel. Not just in moments of closeness, but in moments of conflict. A soul-aligned connection will still feel safe in the storms. It won't require you to shrink, to suffer, or to lose yourself. Instead, it will call you higher. It will ask you to become more honest, more present, and more whole. It won't demand your light. It will reflect it. If you're walking this path, it's important to remember, love is not always meant to stay. Some connections serve their purpose and then dissolve. And that's not failure, it's evolution. When you stop chasing love that hurts and start embracing love that heals, your entire life begins to shift. The right person won't just feel good, they'll feel true, not because they fix you, but because you've already done the work to heal yourself. If you've ever learned a powerful lesson from someone who didn't stay, type "thank you for the lesson" in the comments. There's a powerful shift that happens when you stop asking, when will I find the right person? And instead ask, who am I becoming? Carl Jung taught that the outer world is a reflection of our inner state. If you're still attracting relationships filled with chaos, confusion, or pain, it's not because you're doomed. It's because something inside still resonates with that frequency. To change what you attract, you must first transform what you carry with. We often think love is about luck, that one day the perfect person will just appear. But the truth is, love is energy. It flows where your attention, intention, and vibration go. If your heart is heavy with old wounds, your energy will unconsciously call in those who match your pain. But if your heart is full of clarity, strength, and peace, you will begin to draw in those who mirror your growth. It's not magic, it's alignment. Before asking why someone hasn't shown up in your life, ask yourself what you're still holding on to. Are you still believing that love must be earned through suffering? Are you still settling because you fear being alone? Are you still repeating patterns that your soul is begging you to break? Jung believed that until we bring the unconscious into the light, it will continue to rule our lives, and we'll call it fate. But it's not fate. It's feedback. It's your soul trying to wake you up. Healing is not about becoming perfect. It's about becoming whole. When you learn to sit with your shadows, instead of running from them, you stop attracting people who reflect your unhealed pain. You begin to vibrate at a different level, one where peace feels more natural than chaos. That's when relationships become sacred. They're no longer about fixing each other, but about expanding together. No more chasing, clinging, or controlling, just flowing. When you become the love you've been searching for, something incredible happens. You stop needing someone to complete you, and you start desiring someone who complements you. You no longer seek approval. You stand in your truth. You no longer romanticize red flags. You honor your boundaries. The more you come home to yourself, the less likely you are to abandon yourself for someone else. That's the kind of self-love that calls in the right kind of partner naturally, effortlessly, and without force. This path is not about loneliness. It's about liberation. When you finally see your worth, you stop settling for halfway love. You start attracting people who see your soul, not just your surface. And you understand that being alone doesn't mean you're unloved. It means you're in the sacred process of becoming someone who can give and receive love at its highest level. If you're ready to stop settling and start growing, type "I choose growth" in the comments. There's a sacred truth that often goes unnoticed. Not every soul you connect with is meant to walk with you forever. Some people come into your life not to stay, but to shift you, to shake you awake. Carl Jung taught that every connection holds meaning, but not every connection is meant to last. And that's okay. Some are here to show you the path, others to walk it with you, and a few to remind you that your journey is yours alone. When we attach to people who have already served their purpose, we invite suffering. The ego clings, fearing change. But the soul knows when it's time to release. You may feel like you're losing something precious, but in truth, you're creating space for something greater. Jung believed that real love allows growth, not possession. It expands you, and when it's time to let go, love doesn't scream. It whispers. It's time to move forward. The pain of letting go often comes from the illusion that love is meant to last forever. But in the spiritual realm, love is a guide, not a chain. It arrives to teach, to awaken, to evolve. And when that lesson is complete, resisting the flow only creates friction. When you surrender to what is, instead of holding on to what was, life begins to unfold in miraculous ways. You find peace, not because everything is perfect, but because you stopped fighting the natural rhythm of your soul. Jung reminded us that transformation happens in silence, in the stillness of solitude. When you stop chasing and start reflecting, you begin to see the patterns clearly. You begin to ask, what was this relationship trying to show me? Instead of why did they leave? That shift in perspective turns pain into power. You stop feeling like a victim of love and start becoming a student of life. Every relationship, even the hardest ones, becomes a doorway into deeper self-awareness. This doesn't mean you'll never feel grief. Letting go still hurts, but that grief becomes sacred when it's honored. It means you're not abandoning yourself anymore. It means you're choosing growth over comfort, and that's where true healing begins. Not when someone else stays, but when you decide to stand tall in your truth, even if it means walking alone for a while, because you know now that being alone doesn't mean you're broken. It means you're rebuilding. Eventually the ones who are meant for you will come, but they will not arrive to fill a void. They'll meet you in your fullness. They won't need to be chased or convinced. They'll simply flow with your energy. No games, no drama, just presence, and when that happens, you'll know all the pain, all the letting go, all the inner work. It was never in vain. It was preparation for something real. If you've ever let go of someone to protect your peace, type "I honor my journey" in the comments. When two souls meet at the right moment, it feels like the universe is speaking. There's no need to explain it, define it, or label it. It simply is. Carl Jung would say that this kind of meeting is a reflection of deep inner alignment. It's not based on longing or neediness. It's a sacred connection built from two whole individuals who have done the inner work and are now ready to share their wholeness with another. But here's the truth most people overlook. Before this connection can happen, something profound must occur inside you. You must meet yourself fully. You must turn inward and embrace every part of who you are. The light, the shadows, the wounds, and the wisdom. Jung believed that the greatest adventure in life is not finding someone else, but discovering yourself. Because once you do, the right people naturally begin to arrive, not to complete you, but to walk beside you. Love found in this state is not fragile. It's not based on fear or insecurity. It's grounded in truth and freedom. You're no longer looking for someone to rescue you. You're no longer attracting from lack. Instead, you've become a beacon of self-awareness, and your energy speaks before you even say a word. You no longer chase connections. You attract them through the depth of your being. And this is the real magic. When you stop searching from a place of emptiness and begin vibrating from a place of fullness, the love that arrives is different. It's calm, respectful, and real. There's no manipulation, no confusion, only growth. And that growth continues. Because now you're evolving not in isolation, but in connection with someone who mirrors your soul's expansion. Yet even in this state, it's important to remember, some connections are temporary, and that's part of the beauty. Every soul you meet has a purpose. Some awaken you, some challenge you, some teach you to let go, and some stay. But all of them are mirrors of your inner evolution. Jung said that the unconscious becomes our destiny until we make it conscious. That means every relationship is a chance to wake up and remember who you truly are. So if love hasn't arrived yet, don't lose faith. Ask instead, what part of myself do I still need to meet? Because the love you attract will always reflect the love you hold for yourself. The deeper your healing, the more powerful your connections. The more you accept yourself, the more you'll attract people who accept you too. You don't have to chase what's meant for you. You just have to become it. If you're ready to become the love you've been waiting for, type "I am complete" in the comments. And if this message lit a fire in your soul, share it with someone on their healing journey. Let's create a wave of conscious, soul-aligned love.